pretty accurate heading. If you're given an equation, find a bunch of stuff. And it's actually the exact same things we were finding before, but before we purposely tried to find them when we graphed from a table. And we just kind of looked and tried to figure something out from that. This is going to be the opposite focus than what we did like for the last week. Like on this one, I don't want you to use Desmos graphing calculator. If you want to use a scientific calculator, that's fine. But for this one, the goal is to try to find out everything by yourself without a graph, and then make the graph from the info you find. And this first example is actually not a great one. It's just regular y equals x squared, because everything is at 0. Because the vertex is at 0, and so all of the answers are 0. And so I actually kind of want to start with the second problem. Cohen, you want to call on somebody for me? Oh wait, Cade looks pretty tired. We gotta wake up Cade. Okay, Cade. Do you remember how to figure out A, B, and C whenever we have an x squared equation?
No.
Well, that was quick. Conveniently, it's written at the top of the page. Did that help at all? And if it doesn't, that's okay. So A is going to be the number on the x squared. B is going to be the number on the x. And then C is going to be number by itself. Perfect. Come on. Now, it does not have to have all three things. Like, it's very possible that your equation would just have two of those. It doesn't have to have all three. So if it's missing one of them, that's going to be a 0. But as we do these problems, that's the first thing we have to find out, because we're going to use those letters to find the answers. So when we're looking at number 2, A is going to be 2, because it's 2x squared. B is going to be 7. C is going to be 4. And 100% ask away if that doesn't make sense, because all of our answers are based off of that. Like, I know we did this earlier this year. I can't even remember what it was for. But we talked about A, B, and C a little while ago. Do you guys remember what it was for? It's really bad that I can't. But... Okay. I mean, I wasn't expecting you to, but hey. All right, first thing we're going to try to find every single time is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is going to be the c value. So for ours, we figured out c was 4. Immediately I know the y-intercept is 4. Now there is a way to find the y-intercept, but I'm probably going to think it's easier for you to just know that it's always c. If c is missing, the y-intercept is 0. Kate, you want to pick somebody for me? Sure. 8. Let's look for a tired person, and they'll be number 8. Oh, Brody, you look tired. You don't, but we'll go. Do you remember how to graph the y-intercept?
No.
Oh. Do you remember what y-intercept is?
Oh wait, oh that, yeah, no, you just go up 4.
Oh, okay, that was perfect. You were kind of out of it then, okay. That's what I thought. You weren't tired, but you were early morning zoned out. Okay, so to graph the y-intercept, Ours is positive 4, so I would go up 4, and that's where it's gonna be graphed. I don't know anything else about the U shape, I just know that it goes there. So we have 1 point. Now the axis of symmetry is gonna be the first thing that's gonna take us some work to find the answer for. We never had to do that before. We basically just looked at Desmos or looked at our table and knew where it was. The formula is written right here. That's how you're supposed to find the axis of symmetry. It's semi-annoying, because it doesn't always work out very good. So I'm supposed to take the opposite of whatever B is, and then divide it by doubled A. Okay, well, B for us was 7, so I'm gonna have the opposite of 7. And then Brody, choose somebody.
I'll pick a number.
Yeah.
3.
3. Ekram, you're 3. You actually are 3. I counted on that one. What's A? Oh, well, I wrote it down.
-7?
It is not. A is 2.
Oh,
Okay, if we double that 2, what do we get?
4.
Good. And if you use your calculator to do -7 divided by 4, you get the answer that's already written there for you, the -1.75. But I wanted to make sure to show you where it came from. Without calling on somebody, does anybody know how I'm supposed to graph x equals -1.75? Like, how do what is the axis of symmetry gonna look like? Let's just go with that. Nate?
Is it on the x-axis, to the left and to the right?
You're kind of right. So if I go on the x-axis and I go 1.75 to the left, which is the annoying part, it's right about there. But that's not what the axis is gonna look like. That's where it's gonna go.
It's gonna be slanted.
No, it's not a bad idea. What does every U look like? Oh, that was dumb. That was a terrible question. Every U looks like a U. Do you remember do you remember the other name for this line that went through the middle of the U? Nope, I mean, you're not wrong. But the line, we called it it's the line of symmetry, it's the axis of symmetry, I also called it like a mirror image. It's just a line that you can fold your U in half so that it's a mirror image. So when we find our axis of symmetry, it's an imaginary line that just goes up and down. But its only purpose is to tell us where the middle of the parabola is. That's its only job. I should erase this point, because I don't want you guys to think it's a point. The second most annoying thing on here is finding the vertex answer. So that's what you were kind of on with that. The vertex is going to be a specific point. This is where you're going to need your calculator. We are going to take this answer and put it into the equation. Whatever this answer is, put into the equation. Some kind of note to yourself, because you're going to need to rely on these notes. Okay, so we've got 2x squared plus 7x plus 4. I'm going to do 2 times negative 1.75 squared plus 7 times negative 1.75 plus 4. This most definitely is not gonna be something that you're gonna do in your head. All of the problems we're running into now don't have super nice answers. They'll be okay, they just definitely won't be good. And if you plug this into the calculator, if you plug that into the calculator, you would get negative 2.125. This is gonna be the hardest thing for you to find on this topic. It usually has been over the years. Once I figure out this answer, and once I get the second answer, that's going to be the point for the vertex. And they're generally not going to be great numbers. Now that dotted line that I just drew, that's where my point is going to be on. The height would be negative 2.125. So I'm going to go a little bit below 2. And I'm just going to guess where the vertex is. We'll call that negative 2.125. There's no way you're going to be able to graph it exactly. You're just going to approximate where it goes. The last thing we're going to do. Oh, FYI, you need 3 points to be able to make a U shape. You need at least 3 points to be able to figure out how to make a U. This is called the axis of symmetry because it's a mirror image. Does anybody know where there would be another point? If we know this one is here, where would there be another one? Yeah, on the mirror image on the other side. So we're going to use that as a mirror image. So if I know that this is, what was it, to 1.75, I'm going to have to go 1.75 the other direction and just estimate. I'm not looking for perfect spots. You're going to make the mirror image over there. Because most of these numbers are not going to work out great, you're just going to kind of guess about where it goes. And then from this, we can make a U shape. That is a terrible drawing of U. Do better than me. There's one thing you're not going to have to find. You're not going to have to find where it crosses the x-axis. So don't worry about drawing the U perfectly. Just hit the points that you drew. We're gonna draw those 3 points every time. We're going to draw the vertex and then 2 points that are mirror images. I know, that was a lot. That was one problem. It's going to be confusing for a bit. I was expecting it to be. Don't feel bad at all if it's confusing. I'm assuming you want me to do this problem with you yet. Yes? No? Here, let's. No, who did I call on? Nate? I kind of called on you. Maybe Noah? Did you guys answer a question? Ekram? Ekram, I guess you're the last one I called on. Who's gonna help me answer this question? Okay. Where's Danielle sitting now? Right over there. I was looking for your old spot. Daniela, first thing we need to figure out, A, B, and C. Do you want to go up there and write down A, B, and C for me? Because now we have 2 emotional support animals up there. It helps twice as much. So let's figure out A, B, and C, and I can give you some help if you want it. You can call on other people for help. You can always bring somebody up with you. Oh, you're just going right to it. A is, erase that. Your palm, actually, it's kind of weird. Okay, when no number is shown on a letter, that's one of them. If it's missing, that's a 0. Like if there was no X. Perfect. Okay, so we've got our A, B, and C. This is how we're going to find all of our answers. Nice job. Who do we have next? We've got Caitlin. No? I haven't even asked the question yet, though. If you're not sure, you can just always pass it on or, get help. Okay. The very first thing says y-intercept is -5. The answers are there for you. Do you remember how we find that -5? Yeah, we wrote it down on the last page. It's the C value. So we figured out the C was -5. That's the same as the y-intercept. Do we have a brave soul that wants to come up and draw where -5 would be on the graph? Rather than choosing somebody to come up here? Ellie? You're not a brave soul? I know you're a brave soul.
I just don't know what to do.
Oh, do you want some help?
Yeah.
I can help you out. Nice job, thank you. Okay, if we are trying to graph the y-intercept, that's gonna be where it crosses the line that goes up or down.
Okay.
So we want to go to a height of -5. And then, perfect, just draw the point there. Yep, that's it. That's our y-intercept. Does this feel confusing just because there's a lot of things? Or is it the individual parts that are hard? You guys are very, you're very frustrating at times because everybody wants to silently give answers without saying anything. Do you guys just not feel comfortable around each other yet? Is that what it is? Like, not used to this group? Because I've had you all the rest of the year, and you are not silent. Most of you talk constantly. Is it first hour? Is this early? You're not awake yet. All right, good. Well, you know how we get awake? We walk up to the board. Colin, your turn. You got this. Okay, now the next part is where we have some work.
Yep.
Do you remember how to find the axis of symmetry? Now the equation is
Yeah.
written right there, yeah.
Well, it's,
The answer's there obviously, but how did we get that answer?
you take the opposite of
B,
-4.
nice, very good,
Which
so
is
positive 4.
And then 4 divided by 2a, which is going to be 2.
Perfect. 4 divided by 2 times 1.
So that's
2.
2. And so,
And then how do we draw that? Yep, perfect.
and then,
I wouldn't write it as a point because we don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, there we go. Oh, all right, that works. So that's going to be our axis of symmetry. That's the middle of the parabola. Nice.
is that it?
That's it. Now, I feel like I probably don't want to call on somebody for the next one because that's usually the hardest one. Does anybody remember how we find the vertex answer though? Like we wrote it down on that last page. Yeah. Perfect. We are going to take this answer and put it into the equation we were given. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 5, and that gives me an answer of -9. So once I know it's -9, I'm gonna go to that height on the line we just drew. -9 is way down here. That's gonna be the vertex. Caleb, we need our last point, which we're gonna figure out by using a mirror image. Would it be easier for you to come up and draw where that last one would be, or to tell me?
I'll just go with that.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even know, do you need your son still?
I can pretty much function without it.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you can't do that, don't. Perfect. Since this point was 2 squares away right there, we're gonna draw the other one 2 squares away on the other side. And then as soon as you have that mirror image, we can make the U shape because we have 3 points. Ah, wrong one. Now luckily, these aren't easy at all, but it's gonna be the exact same steps every time. Same order, same steps. Go ahead, Macy, you look like you had a question on part of that.
No, I just didn't have that.
Slightly different? Okay. What I was hoping you guys could do, which Alan is not on there. Which phone went? What do you need that for? All right. I was hoping you guys could try the problem on the bottom by yourself. And if there's parts of it you can't do, that's okay. We're gonna go over the answers to it in a minute. Try to figure out the parts on the bottom problem that you can. I think it still had the answers for you, right? No, it does not. Perfect. That's even better. I don't want you to. Now, we tried to write down little notes on how to find all the things. So I'll give you a couple minutes to find those. If anybody wants any help, I can certainly help. remember where we talked about ABC, it was factoring. For multiplying A and C. I'll start putting up some of the answers slowly so you can check yours. Mm-hmm. Yes, probably.
So for this one,
No, A is always going to be the number on the x squared. B is always going to be the number on the regular x. Wait, oh, you're back there. That's negative 8.75. Did anybody else get negative 8.75 for the vertex? Okay, good. I knew there was not, that one wasn't gonna happen in my head.
Oh, that's very easy.
Oh, really?
I got 9.125.
Well, then let me find out. Everybody was okay with the 0.75 though, 3/4?
137.
Okay. Okay, so we got 2 times 0.75 squared minus 3 times 0.75 minus 8. I got negative 9.125. Whoops, whatever. So this gives me the 0.75, negative 9.125. Which is way down at the bottom. So 9.125, right below 9. And then reflecting the y-intercept will be, oh, it's actually not 1 away. It's 0.75 away, which I think is 1.5. But estimate the best you can. And our points are pretty close together, so it's gonna be hard to make the U. But is there maybe something up there that you want me to explain where I got the numbers from, where, because, you know, like, or maybe I can walk around and help you figure out where yours was incorrect or something. Curious how many people got this? Okay. And I'm assuming a lot of people partially got this. I'm gonna guess the first 2 answers were probably a lot more common than that one. The vertex one is where most people have issues if they do. Okay, let's see, we only have like 6 minutes left. So what I would like you to do is to fix this problem if you don't have it correct in your notes, to make sure that your notes are set up for you to be able to look at and be able to do a problem on your own. Now these go really slow. We only did 3 the entire day. And that's kind of what I was expecting. Do you guys prefer worksheets, or do you prefer working out of the packet? Do you have a preference? Oh, so it kind of sounded split, all right. That is very true. It's easier not to lose it in the packet. The harder part about the packet is just knowing what your assignment is supposed to be. Okay, well, I'll figure it out for tomorrow, but obviously this is what we're gonna be working on tomorrow. You're not gonna get a lot of them. That goes slow, but nice job.